All right, people, I need your help with this thing. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. So it's been giving me trouble starting for a few months, and I've tried a bunch of different things to try to correct it. I've had the starter rebuilt. I had the alternator tested. It came back good. I've replaced the camshaft position sensor, crankshaft position sensor. I've gone around and checked all the battery connections. It has a brand new battery. All kinds of stuff. I don't know what's going on with it. I put the skip shift eliminator back there because I thought it had something to do with that for a little while. I replaced the clutch start sensor, I guess, which is the clutch sensor down at the bottom. I replaced the batteries in the key fob. All kinds of stuff. And it starts fine when the car's cold. So I'm going to take my keys with me, so I'm just going to throw my key fob in here. I keep a spare key fob in the car, just in case. So it's going to have a delayed start due to that, so be aware of that. But as you can see, when you try to start it cold, I'll try to get the start button in there so you can see when I actually hit the button. It has a little delayed start, but it starts. So you can see it's fine. Turn it off. Turn it back on. Battery voltage is coming up. Everything looks good, right? So what I'm going to do is drive it around the neighborhood, let it get warmed up, and conduct some experiments to see what time it actually starts giving me a problem. I'm not sure what time it is now. I think it's around 10, maybe just after 10 o'clock. But I'll note the time after I let the car start to sit, and we'll see how long it takes it to stop starting after that. So I've just taken it for a drive around the block. This clock is actually an hour off from disconnecting my battery, but it is now 10:30. I drove it around for about 13 minutes. The oil temperature got up to 183 degrees. You can see the alternator's charging. I'm low on gas. But everything else looks good. The temperature looks good. Oil pressure looks good. And I'm going to put it back in the garage, and I'm going to come back out at different times and see whether it starts or not. I'm not sure exactly how long it takes to get to the point where it won't start, but after probably about an hour or so, it will not start anymore, and you'll see what happens. So it's in the garage. I'm going to turn it off and see if it starts back up. It should, because that's what it's been doing. So see, after driving it, immediately after turning it off, it will restart. We'll do that again. Okay, so let's let it sit, see what happens. All right, so I've tried to come out here about every 10 minutes or so and start it to see what's been happening. It's been about an hour. And this is what it does when you try to start it after an hour of sitting. So I've got the clutch still pushed in. After a few seconds, all the dash lights and everything will come back. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Now what's weird is it only seems to go dark like that when the clutch pedal is pushed in. So observe this. You saw how long it took last time for the lights to come back on. This time, right after it doesn't start, I'm going to lift the clutch pedal and you'll see it come right back. See, I just released the clutch and everything came right back. I'm going to turn it off again, and I'll try to start it again, and I'm going to leave the clutch pushed once again as I did the first time. And you see the difference in time. I'll turn it off again. And one more time I'll do it where I release the clutch immediately after non-start. You see the lights come right back. So the check engine light is always the P0335 and the P04 whatever the crankshaft position sensor and camshaft position sensor are. I'll put it down in the description. I don't remember off the top of my head. But that's the check engine light. So what will happen is it won't start now for a few hours until I guess the car cools down. So it's definitely temperature dependent as well. Because once the car cools down, it'll start again like nothing ever happened. So it's some sort of temperature dependent error, or I don't know if maybe there's a break in one of the wires somewhere, and when the wires expand or the metal expands or something, it doesn't get a good connection. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I'll go ahead and try to come out here every 20-30 minutes or so and see at what point the car actually starts. That way I have some really good data as far as how long it takes it to not start to the time it takes to restart. All right, so I just came out, tried to start it. It would start. I'll show you. So it starts up, but that engine code is going to remain. I guess it's still picking up the code, but it will start. And I'll go ahead and verify that that is the same codes as before. But so that was about 3.5 hours later, and the car now starts, but with a code. So let's plug in the code grabber, just make sure we've got the same code. So yeah, we've got the same codes, the PO335 and the PO340. So I've erased the codes, let's give this a try. Okay, so she starts right up, no codes at this point. You can see the oil temperature. So I'm not sure exactly what the problem is, but I know that it is temperature dependent. So any help you could provide would be very, very, very much appreciated. Even if you're just pointing me in a certain direction, because at this point I have no idea what to try. Thank you very much in advance.